See, I don't know the day I will die. But I know I will die one day. But the truth must be told. Any day that I will make Dr. Odili and his family to cry, God, don't allow me to grow. These people suffered blackmail, everything, because of some people like us. Sir, I want to tell you today before people hear, I will never be alive to make you cry on your wife. I will never do it.
Yes, on Wike heaping praises on Peter Odili and his wife in this banquet he organized during his campaign for the PDP presidential ticket in 2022. He made it clear, especially his wife, that if not because she was there at the right time at the government house in Port Harcourt, where he rushed to beg Peter Odili to make sure that his name features in the list of chairmanship candidates in Rivers State, his political career would have been dead as a duck.
Then she had finished her own lunch and left the husband and was entering the vehicle. I said, Mommy, I'm finished. She said, what happened? I said, I removed my name. She ran back straight to the husband. So, what happened? The husband said, what is the problem? My son said, I removed him. He said, who removed his name? At that time, secondaries had left. Then the husband now called the security at the gate, stop secondaries to come back. And secondaries came back. That was how I went back as second-time chairman.
After pouring all these encomiums on Peter Odili and his wife, who is a former Supreme Court justice by the way, one wonders what happened, what changed. Is it because of what Peter Odili said about Wike? He didn't even call him by his name. But everyone knows that he was talking about Wike. The event held in his house. Sim Fubara and other dignitaries held the event at Peter Odili's house. So the fact that they made that reference, Wike is not obliged to respond to Peter Odili. He shouldn't have responded to him. He didn't call him by name. But here we are, Wike in his usual manner started calling Peter Odili by his name, making references, passing jokes, and bragging that he built a house for him as if he built that house with his personal money. All his life he's been involved in politics. He's been living off politics. He has never made his own personal money from his own sweat. If not because of politics, Wike wouldn't have been who he is today. That's a known fact.
The battle that he was fighting, not for himself, not for his family, it was an existential fight for the soul of our state. To reaffirm and reassert that the state can never be anybody's personal property.
Before we see what Wike said about Peter Odili, there's something strange happening in Rivers State. Nigerian politics is mostly transactional. It's very rare to see people giving their absolute loyalty to a political leader. Yes, absolute loyalty shouldn't even exist. People are not supposed to lose their minds. They are supposed to have their own opinion and think for themselves. But in rare cases, you have the likes of Peter Obi and maybe First Republic politicians. That time they didn't even have money, but they still had ardent followers who could do anything for their sake because they believed in their ideas and their way of life, everything concerning their type of politics. So the point is, it's baffling that some politicians still follow Wike around when they are supposed to realize that the chances of removing Sim Fubara from power, impeaching him, or stopping governance in Rivers State is near zero. They still don't seem to realize that the person Wike went to this church to celebrate actually still feels and believes that he will be returned as Speaker. He calls himself the Speaker of Rivers State House of Assembly, that's Martin Amaule. But the Rivers State Governor Sim Fubara just submitted the 2025 budget to the other speaker, the speaker that the state government recognizes. Remember, they fought hard, even using the courts, to force Sim Fubara to represent the 2024 budget to the 27-member House. But he refused. The budget year of 2024 has already passed. We are now talking about 2025 budget, and the budget is still not coming to them. So one wonders why they continue to follow Wike around when they know that it has practically become impossible to remove Sim Fubara or to remove his authority. By now, they should have understood that Wike is a spent force. He has not only lost the political game in Rivers State, he also lost in court. Yes, they wanted to use that court order that stopped federal allocations to Rivers State. They wanted to use the order to force a political solution, to force the hand of Sim Fubara. But in the end, it failed because that order was so brazen. You can't just wake up and order Central Bank and Federal Allocations Committee to stop federal allocations to Rivers State, a federating unit in Nigeria. So if Wike and his followers could be this desperate to the extent that they wanted to collectively punish entire Rivers people in order to control the resources of Rivers State, he doesn't have the right or maybe the moral standing to point accusing fingers at Peter Odili that he is the one that is taking over Rivers State.
Who is not having the presidency? His wife is chairman of government council. His daughter is commissioner. His daughter is a judge. He now is the general overseer. So who is now taking the state and the president?
Wike always feels that he is right, that he must have the last laugh. Is he having the last laugh in this situation? He's not in good terms with all the former governors of Rivers State since the Fourth Republic, from Peter Odili to Rotimi Amechi, even Celestine Emehia that had a stint before Amechi is not in good terms with him. Now, Fubara that he helped bring to power, he's been fighting him for the better part of more than 1 year. What does he say about him? He says a lot, except people who don't want to face the truth. Even if we go as far as the Third Republic, you will find out that the governor at the time is still not in agreement with Wike. No one supports what he's doing in Rivers State. So the question remains, why is he getting the blind loyalty? This is very important because without the crowd that always sits to listen to Wike, they always clap, hail and cheer him. Without that crowd, he will stop coming to Rivers State. He will only continue calling press conferences in Abuja. He's someone that likes to be in the limelight. He craves attention. If people stop giving him that attention, he will stop. His voice, that opposition, his political fight for supremacy against Sim Fubara will die a natural death. This is how to deal with people with very large ego. The reason he's attacking Peter Odili and his wife today is because he feels that he doesn't need them anymore. The time he needed them, especially the wife, when she was still in the Supreme Court, he wouldn't have the audacity to talk to them this way. Also, he once needed the support of Peter Odili. Now he feels that he will no longer need his support ever because he's close to Tinubu, he's the FCT minister and all that. That's why he's doing all this. But if people stop giving him attention, imagine someone that is FCT minister. He will invite the press, pay them money, maybe from his pocket, wherever, and we'll be talking politics. Rivers State politics for that matter. Someone that is an FCT minister, you're supposed to call a press conference and be talking about your job, talking about FCT people, talking about the investment and projects you are executing in FCT. But instead, as someone that craves attention, he will call a press conference and be insulting fellow politicians.
What is policy? I named this after you. I named this after your wife. What have I done? You said we should not be part of government. We are left. We are managing. We are not crying. You are taking assembly money. They are not kind of problem. And they will not die of hunger. We are okay. I'm focused in my job in Abuja. All this envy because you couldn't get to a level like that. Because when I was plotting who would become governor, Even when this governor he was complaining to people. How can they go and do somebody who cannot stand for the public to come? Today, she's doing Christmas carol for you. The woman was not what he did for me. Just to stay and around power. Government for 8 years, you are not satisfied. It is not you think that you'll be satisfied.